I never thought my life would split into a before and after in a matter of minutes. If someone had told me that an ordinary afternoon, running errands, shopping for groceries, humming a quiet tune in my car, would become the doorway to eternity, I would have laughed it off. My name is Humaira, and I was, at the time, a devoted Muslim woman, faithful to the teachings of Islam and rooted in family tradition. My life was predictable, orderly, and centered on my devotion to Allah. But one day, everything I thought I knew unraveled, leaving me standing face to face with a reality I could never have imagined. It started with a sound, a screech, a crash, and the violent spin of my car as another vehicle ran a red light. Metal twisted like paper, glass shattered around me, and then silence. When I opened my eyes again, I wasn't in the wreckage, I wasn't even in this world. I found myself standing in a vast, indescribable place, bathed in a light that wasn't harsh but gentle, like it carried love within it. The air itself felt alive. I looked down and realized I wasn't in my broken body anymore. Pain was gone. Fear was gone. Instead, I felt free, as if I had shed a heavy skin I'd carried all my life. Time didn't exist there. I don't know if I stood in that space for minutes or years, but none of it mattered. I had never known peace like this, and then I heard it. A voice unlike any other, soft but strong, filled with a love that made my soul tremble. "Humaira," it said, "I have been waiting for you." I turned and saw him. A man stood before me, tall and radiant, clothed in simple robes, yet surrounded by a presence that felt eternal. His eyes were kind, his face serene, and his very being radiated warmth and truth. My heart pounded as I whispered, "Who are you?" He smiled gently. "I am Jesus." The name struck me like thunder. I knew him as Isa, a prophet honored in Islam, a man of miracles but not divine. My faith had never taught me to see him as the Son of God, and yet there he stood, alive, radiant, and undeniably real. I stammered, You're Jesus?" "Yes, I am," he said, his voice like a melody that went straight into my heart. "And you have been chosen for this moment." I wanted to argue. I wanted to cling to what I'd been taught my whole life. How could he be more than a prophet? How could he stand before me with such undeniable power and presence? My confusion tumbled into questions. Why am I here? Am I dead? Jesus placed his hand on my shoulder, and the warmth of his touch wasn't just physical. It went deeper into the very core of who I was. "You are not dead, Humaira. You have been given a second chance, a gift of life. But more than that, you have been given the truth. I am showing myself to you so that you may know me fully." My thoughts spun wildly. I wanted to protest, to hold onto everything I believed in, but something inside me stirred, something that had always been restless and searching. He looked at me with compassion and said, "You have sought truth all your life, even without realizing it. I am the truth. If you open your heart, you will find what you've been longing for." His words silenced me. For the first time, I wasn't reciting rehearsed prayers or following rituals handed down to me. For the first time, I was face to face with someone, so real, so full of love that I couldn't deny it. Tears filled my eyes as his form began to fade. "You are not finished yet, Humaira," he whispered. "Remember what you have seen. Do not forget," and just like that, the light vanished. Pain returned. Sound returned. I was back in the wreckage, sirens wailing in the distance, people shouting, pulling at the mangled doors. My body was broken, but I was alive. In the hospital, doctors shook their heads in disbelief. They called my survival a miracle. They said I should have died instantly or been crippled for life. But I knew the truth. It wasn't medicine that saved me. It was him. I had met Jesus. Yet as my family gathered around my bed, praising Allah for my survival, my heart trembled. How could I tell them what had really happened? How could I explain that the very man I had been taught to revere as only a prophet had stood before me as the Son of God? My lips stayed silent, but inside I knew I could never be the same again. The days after my accident felt surreal. My body was weak, stitched, and bruised, but inside I was restless. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face, Jesus, with eyes full of love, calling me by name. My family rejoiced and thanked Allah for sparing me, but I couldn't join them with the same certainty. I bowed my head in prayer, as I had always done, but the words felt empty. In the silence of my heart, I whispered, Jesus, help me understand. Late at night, when the house was quiet, I searched for answers. I read stories online of others, Muslims just like me, who claimed to have seen him. I opened the Bible for the first time, secretly, afraid of being discovered. With each page, I felt as if a light was being switched on inside me. It wasn't just words, it was truth speaking to my soul. At the university library, I sought out Sarah, a Christian woman I had known casually. Her kindness had always struck me. One day, gathering my courage, I whispered, Sarah, I saw Jesus. She looked at me with steady eyes, not surprised, not skeptical, just deeply moved. She listened as I poured out my story. When I finished, trembling, she said softly, Humaira, he reveals himself to those who seek him. If you truly want to know, ask him. Pray to him. The thought terrified me. Pray to Jesus? All my life, I had been taught to pray only to Allah. But that night, I sat on my prayer mat, closed my eyes, and whispered, Jesus, if you are truly who you say you are, guide me. Show me what to do. And for the first time since the accident, peace filled me. Deep, steady, unshakable peace. But peace within did not erase the storm around me. My brother Omar noticed my distance, the hesitation in my prayers, the way I no longer spoke with conviction about Islam. Oh, one evening, he confronted me. Humaira, something's wrong with you. Are you doubting your faith? My heart pounded, but I lied. I'm fine. Yet my silence betrayed me. His eyes narrowed and he warned, if Baba finds out, it will destroy us. It wasn't long before my secret came crashing into the open. My father found the Bible I'd hidden under my bed, the one Sarah had given me. He stormed into the living room, holding it like evidence of betrayal. Explain this, he demanded. My mother wept silently. Omar stood with his arms crossed, unable to meet my eyes. Tears stung my face as I whispered, I've been reading it, and I believe Jesus is more than a prophet. I met him. He came to me. The room erupted. My father's voice thundered, accusing Christians of deceiving me. Omar begged me to stop before I shamed the family. My mother sat frozen, tears streaming down her face. I wanted to take the words back, but I couldn't. To deny him would be to deny the truth I had seen. With trembling lips, I said, I cannot deny what happened. I cannot deny him. My father's face hardened. Then you are no longer my daughter. His words cut deeper than any wound from the accident. That night, I packed a small bag, slipped a note from Sarah into my pocket. If you ever need a place to go, come to me. And left my home in the dark, my heart breaking with every step. Years passed. I found refuge among believers who had walked a path like mine, people who had lost everything but gained Christ. I wept often for my family, for my mother's touch, for my father's approval, for Omar's laughter. I prayed every day, Jesus, bring healing, bring reconciliation. Then one day, a letter arrived at the church. The handwriting was my mother's. My hands shook as I opened it. My daughter, it began, I have read your words again and again. My heart is broken for how we treated you. I do not understand your choice, but I cannot deny that you have found peace. I have never stopped loving you. If you still wish to see me, I am waiting. I pressed the paper to my chest, tears flowing. God had not forgotten my prayers. When I saw her again, sitting in a small cafe, older and grayer, my heart nearly burst. She looked up, and her eyes softened just as they did when I was a child. She opened her arms, and I ran into them. You are still my daughter, she whispered through tears. In that moment, I knew love had triumphed. In time, even my father's heart softened. He never said he believed, never said he accepted my faith. But one evening, he asked me a simple question. Are you happy? I nodded, eyes full of tears. Yes, Papa, I am. He sighed and said, that is all a father wants for his child. It wasn't full acceptance, but it was enough. And Omar, though he never embraced my path, let go of his anger. Now, when I look back on that day of the accident, I realize it wasn't the end of my life, but the beginning. Jesus had called me by name, given me a second chance, and filled my soul with love stronger than fear, stronger than rejection, stronger than death itself. I lost much, but I gained everything. My name is Humaira, and this is my testimony. Once I thought I knew God, but it was only when I encountered Jesus that I found the truth I had been searching for all my life.